Hello and welcome to a new Scale 500 news video here on the channel. Herpa has just announced their new announcements for March and April 2025, so the 0304 releases. And well, with no further ado, let's take a look what Herpa has come up with this time. So for the 0304 releases, Herpa Wings will have quite a bit of Edelweiss in form of the A350 in various scales, but let's first take a look at the models one by one and then we will get to the Edelweiss. Herpa is releasing another A220 model, and this time it will feature the Croatia Airlines livery. This is definitely a model I am looking forward to, except of course for the recommended retail price of Herpa Wings, which is set at 38.95, so 39 euros, which is really insane for an A220 in scale 500. But then there is a re-release of an Airbus A380. It's been quite a while since we last had an A380, which wasn't in the Emirates livery from Herpa Wings, and it is this time featuring British Airways. I think that is actually quite a nice re-release because it's been quite a while since we last seen a British Airways A380, and it is a model that collectors are looking for out there and are having a tough time getting their hands on in the second-hand market. Now we are of course here already seeing an image which I assume is an older sample model. I do hope that the re-release of this A380 will, for example, also feature set domes, but we will see later this year. Then we have something for the North American collectors. Herpa Wings is continuing with their retro or heritage liveries of American Airlines. This time it will be in form of the A321, which has the American Airlines US Airways hybrid livery. And while this is actually quite cool that they're doing these aircraft as well, we are still missing quite a few standard livery aircraft models from US carriers, like for example United Airlines, their A321neo, but there are so many other also regional aircraft where we are just not having any models in scale 500 with up-to-date liveries. So I would wish that Herpa would soon be working on that as well. So an aircraft model that I'm actually more excited about is the Etihad Airways cargo Boeing 777F. Yes, we are finally getting a 777F freighter of Etihad Airways cargo. And I mean, the livery itself is looking spectacular and it's not getting any worse than the cargo variant. We many years ago got an A330-200F of Etihad cargo. I don't believe this aircraft type is in use anymore with Etihad cargo, so it's great to finally get an aircraft that they're actually using so we can display them on our airport setups. Only drawback here is the recommended retail price of Herpa Wings set at 45 euros. And then also a model that I'm sure many collectors will be looking forward to is finally a standard livery Eurowings aircraft, in this case the A320neo of Eurowings. So I mean, I guess we could argue if it is really a standard livery and not an aircraft with a sticker, because they have a little bit of neo branding around that stuff, but it is more or less still the standard livery. We don't have any advertisement like we saw with the Salzburger Land A320 that we had last year. So yeah, and standard livery Eurowings A320neo is coming. The recommended retail price from Herpa Wings for this aircraft model is 40 euros. And then we have the before mentioned Edelweiss Airbus A350-900. Edelweiss has, of course, I believe they have already taken delivery of the A350 or are very soon about to take delivery of their very first A350. Herpa is now coming with a model. In fact, in scale 500, where the recommended retail price is 45 euros. But if you prefer larger aircraft models, they do also have a proper scale 200 release of that in this batch. And also in this batch, they are releasing the model as a snap-fit model. So there is plenty to choose from. If you are a fan of Edelweiss and want to have the A350 in your fleet, you have at least 3 models to choose from in this batch alone. Another A350 in this batch will be featuring the Emirates livery. This will of course also be a much anticipated aircraft model amongst collectors, I'm sure. The only thing I'm a little bit hesitant about is the fact that, I mean, we are still waiting for the 777 in the new Emirates livery, which was supposed to be delivered last year and still hasn't. So yeah, I think it would have been prudent to actually release the already announced model before announcing another one. But in any case, it is great to see that we will very soon get the Emirates A350 in scale 500, as it has already been released in scale 400 by other manufacturers. And then there's also a military release for those collectors who like that. You know, I'm not a huge fan of military aviation, so I don't know much about it and I'm not that interested in it. But we will get another E3 Centenary, in this case the E3F variant, which has larger engines than the classical E3 Centenary, if you can call it like this. This will be of the French Air Force, so if you're interested in the model, this is what you can expect, and it will be retailing at 43 euros. But that's far from all. No, there is more for those military collectors in form of the US Air Force McDonnell Douglas KC-10 Extender of the 60th Air Mobility Wing. All that doesn't really say a whole lot to me, but if you are interested in these kind of aircraft, well, there is another one here in scale 500 for you. This aircraft will set you back if you are buying at the recommended retail price of Herpa Wings, and I mean, nobody does, but that is the price that Herpa thinks this model should be worth, and that is 49 euros. So let's move on to something I know a little bit more about, and that is the Boeing 757-300 of Iceland Air in the 100 years Icelandic independence livery. Now, if this model had been released 2, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been over the moon. Now it's a bit late, because Iceland Air had actually technically already retired the 757s, have now brought them back into service because they're still waiting on delivery of new aircraft, so they are still flying around, but not for very long. But there is an exciting thing here, and that is the fact that we finally, after many years, have a new 757-300 release. I think the last one we got was in the Delta Airlines livery, so that's really quite a while ago. And it does, of course, mean that the Condor 757-300 models that Herpa has been talking about for quite a while are just around the corner. They will be coming if they have now reactivated the mold for the 757-300. So I think that is actually, for me, the more exciting part than the fact that we get this, although really nice looking 757-300 of Iceland Air. And then we have a model which, if done right, could be a very early contender for model of the year, in my books at least. The Maersk Air Cargo Boeing 777F. Very cool. I'm so excited that they are continuing making Maersk Air Cargo models. Last year we got the 767, now we're getting a 777. That is really cool. I do also hope that they will make re-releases of them with other registration codes, but just the fact that we get another Maersk Air Cargo, and this time the 777, I am really excited for. It will set you back with the recommended retail price of 45 euros if you are buying it at that, if you don't find a shop that has a discount, which pretty much all shops nowadays have. But yeah, the Maersk Air Cargo adventure continues. But we have another release which I'm sure will be a bestseller in form of the Qatar Airways Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. This is definitely a model that collectors have been waiting for a very long time, and I'm sure is a model that will be selling out fairly fast. So my recommendation would actually in this case be to pre-order, because I think this could be gone quite fast. The model will set you back, at least with the official or recommended retail price of Herpa Wings, with 45 euros. But yes, finally we get a new Dreamliner. It's been also here many years since we've last seen a Qatar Dreamliner. Last time it was the 8 variant, now we finally get the 9 variant. And then the final aircraft model in this, I think, rather strong release batch from Herpa Wings is another Dreamliner in this case. And I kind of complained about having missing still some standard livery aircraft models from United Airlines or American Airlines in general. But I was actually more thinking about narrow body aircraft. But in this case, we get a wide body, a Dreamliner 787-9 in the standard United Airlines livery, of course, the up to date, the new standard livery, which is something we haven't seen before. We of course already have the 9 variant in the old United Airlines livery. Now we get the updated livery on the Dreamliner, so in case you're missing that in your collection, now you have the chance. This is also having a recommended retail price of 45 euros. Now, those were all the models that Herpa has in store for us for 0304. We will see if they will manage to release them in time. Last year that didn't quite work out for them, and we are of course still waiting for releases from 2024 that are being pushed back further and further. But that's a whole nother topic. But what do you think about these models? Are there some models there which you just cannot skip out on? Or, well, are they easily avoidable for you? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you would like to see more of this type of content here on the channel, then feel free to leave a like. and hit subscribe if you are new around here. With that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.